practice, very eager to get their first championship each of their own. We'll see if they have what it takes. We're gonna have game one be Aquarius CTF, and we're hopping on board with who other than Spartan the Dog, the most lethal player in this series right now. Can he step up big time to get EUnited that bow?
So EUnited have won this game type in both Rally and in the most recent Pro Series against the Pioneers, but both times it was only by one flag cap, 3-2 and 4-3. So the Pioneers definitely have a chance here.
Love the fact that Druk was able to secure that camo, get out of dodge, play his life front to base, able to get a shield back, relocate top middle, gets good information. 2 players now are back flag. He's gonna relay that, gets Sparty to no shield, and already Spartan the Dog being taken down is a big kill. But even King Nick going down is a bigger one because that's 2 dead for EUnited. The flag being pulled, and look at Druk. He smells Ryan did bottom dynamo grenades, and that trade actually benefits Pioneers because this flag should still be running across the map currently.
Yeah, and off spawn, he can also assist the rest of the team from his base, put some shots across perhaps, but the flag has been stopped, and that's down to players getting to the other side, ensuring that the kills are going to come through, and now maybe you've got a chance of another flag being run here.
Somehow, some way, EUnited already in the base of Pioneers, getting a flag run of their own going, but soul sniping the boys. They have something to say about that. Heat Wave meets Rain over in the closet. That's going to be an easy kill for him. They do get the return, but this flag's still about at the 50-yard line. What can Pioneers do to get it across and into their base?
Someone just needs to get a touch. Good, okay, there's the touch. That gives you a little bit more time, but EUnited should be in a position to at least try and get some sort of the reback. But you don't want to sit in there too long. You can be very vulnerable to grenades, but Rain, he's being great.
There. Let's
so
go!
brave!
The touch comes through. The Pioneers get it. That's 2 dead on each side, and now EUnited, with only 2 players alive, they have to get the slays. Unfortunately for them, it looks like King Nick's taken down Riot Noob. Looks like he's knocked a no-shield, and that flag's still on the move. Pioneers doing everything they can to get this first flag on the board, and I believe it'll be here shortly.
This could be one of the longest flag runs that we've seen in Halo Infinite. Somehow, still alive. Ryan Noob gets 2 big kills to at least stop the running it just yet, but EUnited fighting tooth and nail to try and get this back.
All right, 2 fresh dead for EUnited once again, so Pioneers gonna get that flag on the move shortly, but Talk, I love this play by him, knows the camo is up, opts to push in front of that flag. They get the flag cap, he gets camo, and Pioneers capitalize on all of the momentum so far.
I love this reach out as well from Talek, but look, he's being patient and he gets rewarded for it as well. Could have easily gone down, now has camouflage, and he's got map positioning, big double, and Pioneers 1-0 up, confidence flowing through them, and even though these games have gone in favor of EUnited before, maybe not this time.
Keep in mind, Raleigh was the first big land for the Kansas City Pioneers. A lot of experience needed to be gained for them to really hit their stride, for them to come in with no nerves, with having been there, having done that. Right now we're seeing them initiate so much onto EUnited so far throughout this game. Another flag is pulled, 2 fresh dead for EUnited, and Talek and the boys look to be clicking on all cylinders.
If Talek can get a kill here, there is a run on, but there's 3 members of EUnited. I love this. He backs out, and instead, he knows he's in a really good position to actually get a lot of shots down, as long as he doesn't give away his spot. But Spartan shows his knowledge, shows his experience, and knows what an important kill that was.
One thing I can guarantee you, Dan, is Spartan will not go quietly into the night losing this pull. So what is he going to do? He's going to get a couple of kills. He's going to get a flag pulled into the closet. Can he turn the corner? The answer is yes. Will he be able to get his shield back? A nade from Talk out of nowhere takes him down, halts that flag from moving any further, and EUnited are going to have to get some kills right now if they want to continue to advance this flag.
Well, and I quote Lydia Kidner, apparently Spartan has more talent in his left cheek than some of these players. But I mean, it's a cheek that took a grenade to it in that situation, and that is not going to be a flag going for EUnited. Instead, on the back foot of it, Pioneers able to get in the base, get a pull, and of course, you've got to take it closet side. You've got to make sure you give yourself as much cover as possible with this flag run.
Okay, so as Talek is pulling this flag, King Nick was the last guy alive. He does secure a kill, which could alleviate a lot of the pressure Pioneers would have been able to have on the spawners of EUnited. So what does Talek do? He drops the flag halfway. He knows he's going to have to slay for them to continue to advance it. Unfortunately, 2 members do hop on that return, so Talek, even though he's playing with 400 IQ, too many members of EUnited hop on that return, so the flag does get reset, but they still continue map control in their favor.
So close as well from that perfect play from Talek, is unfortunately Druk not able to get the kill. You'd expect a little bit better, considering he had the camouflage. Maybe just panicked a little bit, having the sidekick in hand. And now EUnited able to maybe slow this one down after getting that flag return. They've very much been on the back foot in recent times. And Pioneers, they've just been relentless with their pressure. And maybe United just need to match that a little bit, show aggression of their own, and maybe the Dynamo nades could be the perfect start to that.
Yeah, for the first time, we're seeing the game kind of slow down. King Nick gets to find his pacing, and let's see what they're able to do with it now. Spartan is in your base, in your face, with the heat wave, able to find that first kill. That's going to initiate this flag run. And look at where Rain is positioned from Spartan's point of view. That's an easy kill from his end. And now they only have 2 players to deal with. And if everybody comes back like they should, this should be a flag cap for EUnited. But those 2 players seem to be creating chaos in the enemy cluster.
Manny did so well to take down Rhino, but Spartan was very clever to ensure that he just played it patiently, he baited out that flag, but Manny might have done enough just to delay this flag to a point where EUnited off spawn are going to have to fight every single BR fight to try and stop Pioneers from being able to get the return.
I mean, these grenades are ruthless. So often are we seeing these flag carriers get just dominated by the grenades from Pioneers, and just like that, the kills come through. Soul Snipe clutches up. And can he get the return? It's almost there, but Spartan with the nades for himself, able to get that first kill.
Wow.
But another player for Pioneers right on point to get that return and reset the map once again. EUnited doing everything it takes to try and get that flag on the board, but Pioneers also doing a phenomenal job of well-placed grenades and well-positioned players to get that return coming through.
Manny came out of nowhere to get that return. Soul Snipe did the starting damage to it, but now he's going to get caught out as well with this camouflage. It's another camo going in favor of Pioneers, by the way, but they've not really made it count. So Soul Snipe here has a lot of responsibility to stay alive, cover the flag runner here, and maybe pick up some important kills.
Spartan, the last guy alive for EUnited on this side of the map, denies this flag for being run from now, but he's able to stay alive over in the closet. I love the fact that they're going to double back. All 3 players of EUnited pushing in the pink door to get taken down. Can they get the kill on the Nick? The flag still is stagnant in the closet. You see Talik going for it, but King Nick actually relocated. He's going to be able to take down Talik. And in the meanwhile, Spartan the Dog on the other side of the map has run a flag of his own.
I love the idea from Pioneers. They wanted to go back, they wanted to take the fight, but maybe have they given up a little bit too much map control to Spartan, who has to go huge here to try and stop it. Gets the assist, but Ryanoob has done a job to at least get the kill. And Soul Snipe on the other side with the Dynamos. As things slow down ever so slightly, both flags out at the moment, but there needs to be a touch here from the Pioneers.
Yeah, nobody on Pioneers really in a position to try and defend this. The flag return does come through, but 3 death for EUnited. Spartan the Dog, the last guy alive, in no position to get a touch to punch that one in, and Pioneers choose to overextend and not play the flag that's on the ground. A phenomenal decision pays off dividends for them as they are able to get the return of their own and once again be in a perfect position to counter cap this opportunity.
Spartan's got to do so much here. 2 kills have gone in favor of EUnited, but that flag is still potentially being moved, but no, they've managed to do enough to stop it, and you can see why. There was only a 1 flag difference between these guys in Rally and in Pro Series 4 because they're so similar with how they approach the game. Overextend off spawn, be that one player to be a nuisance, and then try and run a counter cap.
It looks like it's up to Manny to try and deny this flag from going in, or at least stall it for a little bit. Respawners from Pioneers are overextending on the pink side of the map. Another flag gets left in the closet. They choose to try and slay. Will it benefit them this time? Talik with great shots. Soul Snipe finds one of his own. The flag still stagnant in the closet. Druk has his eyes on the return. He's got camo. You have to think he's going to be able to get this one. King Nick has no idea he's there. Rain, he's having a tough game so far statistically, and that's even worse now. A double kill with camo for Druk is so big with this heat wave, and can they finally get this return is the question.
Needs to get this return. I was so surprised he allowed the player to actually touch the flag, but it doesn't matter in the end. They will get the return, and they've got a little bit of map control to work with. 3 minutes and 23 seconds on the clock. Still 1-0 in favor of the Pioneers. Pioneers are happy to play this way. They're having a slay-off right now, and they're winning it. EUnited 4 down once more. This flag's moving.
One of the most chaotic games of Aquarius TTF I've ever seen, but somehow Pioneers thriving in the chaos, pulling the flag of their own. You see Druk in a great position to catch overextenders. He spots Rain there, right? He sees Rain, gets information that Rain's shooting, obviously, so he's going to turn around, help his teammates out. But the flag does get stopped once again, bottom Dinos. Nobody able to get a kill on Pioneers as of yet, so you want to see them kind of pull back from this touch. With 3 minutes remaining, Dan, you have to think defense might be the answer here.
And I can understand why Druk was there waiting P, expecting maybe 1 or 2 players to push. Timing was very much a thing. One player just went out of his FOV. But certainly, EUnited are doing very well to stop these flags from being run, but they just need to get one of themselves as another double kill comes in for Druk.
Notice that every time we've gone to Druk so far, the heat wave paired with the thrust has been a lethal combo EUnited has struggled to deal with. You see Rain Thought he may be able to get a touch there. That would have been massive if he could, but Druck does just enough for the flag to be reset, and it forces Rain to have to double back and take time to get it here. Will that be enough time for Pioneers to come off respawn is the big question.
This is exactly what Rain needs to do. You said he was having a difficult game Slay-wise, so turn to the objective. Allow the rest of the team who are on fire to work around you, and surely they get this one in.
Absolutely. Last guy alive is going to be in their base, I think. Is he able to get the touch? No, he does get a help and gets a kill, but that surely has got to be EUnited punching that flag in shortly. And as I say that, you see not only is that flag going to be punched in, but Spartan with the camo able to punch that one into his chest, secures camo, now has put EUnited in a favorable position to potentially go up in this game all of a sudden.
Yeah, and Rhino was in the base of the Pioneers as well. So combine that with the camouflage from Spartan, they can kind of work together, they can collapse, but as I say that, Rhino does go down elsewhere. King Nick trying to take this engagement, has to back off, but I love this. Responding to callouts just to do as much damage as possible, and he needs to be a presence right now because his teammates have fallen all over the place.
Yeah, last two players alive for EUnited are going to be stuck in the back of their base. It's a very difficult position. Impossible situation for King Nick to deal with as those lightning grenades come in, they dominate him, they rip him right off the map. Unfortunately for EUnited fans, Rhino is able to get one. Can he stay alive long enough to buy time? Talik finds a double, Druck finds a third, and that was all 4 dead very shortly, very momentarily for Pioneers, but that could be all they needed to once again regain the lead. With 57 seconds remaining, they are running the game-winning cap into their closet.
All three of them have to rush across this base as fast as possible and try and stop Soul Snipe here.
Here he goes. Can he make it? Nobody on EUnited able to compete against that. And just like that, Soul Snipe gives his team a 1 cap lead with 40 seconds remaining. 2 players down for Pioneers. Rain needs to make a play. What a play it would be if he can get his team right back in it.
Tries to get a flag touch, unfortunately not able to actually go any further and get it even out of the base. That's 30 seconds left, 1 spawn, 1 push here from EUnited. They have to be flawless. Pioneers can play defense. Sit back, make sure you're watching all angles. Don't turtle up too much, just watch every single cross and work together.
Right now, if I'm on Pioneers, I'm playing Team Slayer. I want as many kills as I can get in the next 30 seconds, make it 10 seconds as that flag still stagnant in their window. Rain is going to be the last hope for EUnited in the base of Pioneers right now. And I love this decision by Manny, knowing that reinforcements are coming. Let's cut those off. My teammates will handle Rain. Hopefully, Rain goes down, and that's it. Pioneers will take game 1. They will surprise you from out of nowhere, actually.
Yeah, it's quite terrifying, to be honest. As we get game 2 underway between these two teams, can EUnited answer back, or are the Pioneers going to double their lead? The one thing I will say about the camouflage is it's a lot more difficult to escape with it on recharge, rather so than Aquarius.
Well, don't tell Soul Snipe that, because he just walked out in the open, able to secure it. And if he can get away right here, that would be massive for Pioneers. Even though they do lose the lead momentarily, still just 2-1. It does look like Pioneer gets the better of the start as they secure camo. But as I say that, Spartan the Dog over towards Pipes makes me think he might have Shock Rifle, and that could spell danger as well. But let's see what Soul Snipe has in store for us. Already has the sword in his hand, takes down the Mangler player, and we talked about how influential that Mangler can be, but not right now, not against invisible players, Dan.
And I hope he's communicating that with the team, is where that Mangler's just been dropped to. Take it out of the hands of EUnited, don't allow them to pick it up and start to get some nasty work, as now Talik also going to be combining with the rest of the team to pick up another kill. A 4-kill advantage, and the entirety of EUnited are blocked into blue right now, and they need to find a way out.
They are trapped right now. They need to try and figure out a way to create some space. It's not going to be pushing the direction of Soul Snipe, I promise you that, because the second a player turns the corner here, they are doomed to die to this sword. Fortunately, it does look like EUnited created a little bit of space, made some long haul presence here, and now as they've had an opportunity to spread out, we're going to see this slow down a lot. See, just 6-4, EUnited have opted to slow this pace down. I think that bodes well, because Manny with this shock rifle is just as lethal as anybody.
Well, Rhino's spotting him out, so he's not going to take the bait, and he's just going to have a little dance around glass and feed that information elsewhere. Soul Snipe still picking up kills with that sword. Even though it was a 4-kill advantage, the Pioneers just have to be careful not to give away this shock rifle and give too much control to EUnited. I think EUnited are a team who really thrive in when they have map control. When on the back foot, however, RP Pioneers going to be able to take advantage of maybe some sloppy pushes, maybe some sloppy plays.
Well, as we say that, 2 go down for the Pioneers, and maybe too much map control given to EUnited. Maybe too much respect. Manny not really able to find any kind of opening so far with this shock rifle. A great job with SoulSnipe to control the sword still, picking up 3 kills as players turn the corner. Another Mangler erased from the hands of EUnited.
Has to be said, one thing I enjoyed was EUnited managed to avoid the entirety of the shock rifle and the sword for quite some time. They almost rotated as a unit, but you can't avoid it forever. As the sword runs out, so will SoulSnipe's life. But this is a game that has slowed down. It's not as fast-paced as Aquarius, CTF. And that means it is going to come down to sometimes these big moments. Can you win these fights? Talik's going to be calling that one out.
Let's see if Tal can get this kill. Ryan, who predicts him coming out that low door, able to finish that one off, and that's a big one-on-one win from Ryan Noob. Let's see if he can play his life. Druk not going to let him get his shield back entirely, but with this bad positioning, is Druk able to stay alive now? Sparty's going to erase that, and right now kills being traded over and over and over again have now resulted in Pioneers getting the benefit from that. Not only do they have a little bit of control to work with, this Mangler in SoulSnipe's hand could bode well, already at a 7-0-1 performance.
And despite the occasional 2 or 3 kill lead that we've seen, for the most part, this has been a trade for trade in terms of 1 kill to one team, 1 back to the other. It's difficult to separate the two right now, and considering EUnited came second in Rally, maybe that's a surprise to some of you, but the Pioneers, their stock value has been going up every single time we see them, 17 to 15. And if one team just starts to pop off with this shock rifle, I feel like that could be the difference.
If one player decides to pop off with this shock rifle, Spartan just picks it up, and I can't tell you how important that kill for Manny is. Not just to get the shock rifle out of EUnited's hands, but specifically to take down Spartan before he can get comfortable.
Spartan's going to be desperately trying to find that as well off spawn, I imagine. Druk in a big 1v1 here, but actually there's going to be assistance. Druk will get the kill onto Rain. But at 20 to 19, you have to imagine that if one of these teams can get to a point where they're maybe 5-6 kills ahead, that might be enough just to give them the confidence to slow it down once more, hold a little bit of control, maybe play around the sword, wait for that camo, as I say, has just popped. And this could be an important one.
Back and forth, these two teams were in game 1. Back and forth, they are here now. 1 kill separating them at 21 to 20. EUnited with just a narrow lead for now. SoulSnipe at 9-4 as he gets taken down as the best player in the lobby so far statistically. And right now, as we take a look at the others, Talik needs to figure out a way to keep himself into this. And I love this push by Rain. He's being able to secure camo. And he says, SoulSnipe, I saw you with sword and camo earlier in the game. Let's see if I can do you one better.
One biggest takeaway of looking at stats is assist-wise. I mean, no assists for 3 of the players for Pioneers right now, whereas EUnited, it's distributed quite nicely. Ryan with 8 right now. It seems like the team shot for EUnited is a little bit better here on Recharge, but Pioneers, they're still winning their individual engagements. So EUnited just need to try and stop losing these 1v1s, and maybe they can really start to break away with a lead.
What a great job by Manny to spot that sword player. Unfortunately, he doubles back, knowing that the camo player is there, and maybe he didn't see the sword, but Rain, a player that struggled early in game 1, starting to heat up now in game 2, and what better timing for Rain to pick it up, giving his team a 3-kill lead here as we enter the mid-game.
And he knew that Talik was somewhere around there. You could see by his reticule placement, he was curious. Is there someone down in blue pipes? But now he's just going to play this one nice and quiet. It's always difficult to try and push a sword player, so I don't expect Talik to do it, and he does not. He backs off, and they say, look, we'll allow you to have that 3-kill lead. You can have the blue area. Instead, we'll try and take some map control. Repulsor doesn't work.
Somehow, some way, the repulsor doesn't hit that player, and because of it, you're seeing Rain pay for it with not only his life, but he loses sword control. I love this by Tog, understanding, hey, wait, I just killed a sword player. Let me go get that thing. It's pretty powerful. So let's see if he can make his way into some close quarter combat now that he's secured this energy sword. Camo is going to be coming up in 4 seconds, though. So let's see if they can get Talik this camo and what he's able to do once he has it. The big question is, how are Kansas City going to achieve this? They get information that multiple players are bottom middle, and unfortunately, Talik gets caught off guard, can't finish that one shot, can't get a melee onto Spartan, and this could have changed momentum entirely here in game 2.
I feel like he panicked a little bit, pressed every single button on his controller, tried to repulsor, tried a melee, nothing happened, gives away the sword, but maybe the camouflage can still go into the hands of SoulSnipe, which it will. So 33-32, this game's starting to get to the latter stages now. And it has been the camo control that really has helped Pioneers stay in this game.
SoulSnipe has 14 kills already in this game. A big performance from him. If he's able to continue this, if he's able to push the Pioneers to a Game 2 victory, that would be amazing for KCP to go up 2-0 in the series. Now, a 1-kill lead for Pioneers. SoulSnipe trying to find the opening, finds a player hell, but can't quite push it just yet. You know EUnited are aware he has camo sword, but how is SoulSnipe going to apply this power weapon into this game?
14 kills for Soul Snipe, but 9 assists for Druck. He's been so important to Pioneers, getting these slays on board. 36 to 36. Passes off the shock rifle as well, really important. You don't need both sword and shock rifle. You want to try and spread your power weapons across the team.
Oh, Druck picks one up instantly. Druck picks up one instantly with the shock rifle. A great decision, pays off for Pioneers, and now that they have numbers, you're seeing Soul Snipe look to push. He gets a kill, shuts down that Mangler player, bottom elevator. 3 dead for EUnited. West guy left, Ryan Noob, he's dead as well. And all of a sudden, what was once a lead for EUnited is flipped on its head. Pioneers now up 4 kills, 41 to 37.
And look how desperate they are to find these spawners. They are going to be quivering in their boots now, EUnited, because they know a sword could be round the corner. Soul Snipe's almost rotated the whole of the map. Will eventually find a player. Doesn't even waste any of the energy sword because he's got one last slash to work with.
Yeah, amazing to keep that energy sword as charged as it can be, knowing that this could very well come down to 1 kill as 4 kills continue to separate these two teams. 4 minutes remaining in this game, and if it continues to be as slow-paced as it has been, we could be looking at the time becoming influential. But Ryan Noob with Camo Shock now is able to find a great assist onto that player. This could be the opportunity with Camo Snipe in your hands. What are you able to do? Soul Snipe can't quite find the headshot there, top red, and unfortunately now the jig is up. Pioneers know Ryan Noob's location. They know he has Camo Shock Rifle, and I would be shocked to see Pioneers get caught off guard.
No pun intended, but definitely a pun intended there. 45 to 41. Ryan Noob being very brave with his movement. I know he had camo, but that's the risk. You give away the shock rifle now, and all the tools are there for Pioneers to piece together a victory.
A couple kills do get traded out. EUnited pick up one of their own, but with 4 kills remaining, can Manny get a headshot with this shock rifle? Can he push his team 1 step closer to going up 2-0 in this series? They see all the information they need as far as EUnited pushing long haul here. Will they expect 3 players to be here, though?
Nick's on his own over on the other side of the map. 3 players of EUnited are making a push. If they can expose Nick, and if they know he's there, that could be the game, because then there'll be 3 players in long haul that you can push.
Oh,
and
yeah,
look at them fly! They know there's a kill there, and they secure it.
I love that play by Manny. He disregards anybody in long haul, and because of it, you're seeing Ryan Noob try to relocate, trying to create space, but multiple members go down. 49-43, 49-44, and Talik behind enemy lines right now. You surely have to think he's going to find somebody caught off guard, and just like that, Talik finds Spartan, takes them down, and the Kansas City Pioneers go up 2-0 in our last match.
Went in favor of EUnited. It was 2-1. It was certainly a close game. And if we go off what we've already seen, I mean, previously there was close games in Aquarius CTFs, well, today it went in favor of KC Pioneers. They need 1 more to take this series.
Okay, Spartan the Dog, I'm looking at you to step up for your team. You are the main slayer for this EUnited team. You've had a very quiet series as of yet, but that can all change here in Game 3, and just like that, blink, and you miss it. 4 dead for Pioneers. EUnited had the perfect start to a game. Not only that, they get the ball rotated back into Tram, and Rain with rockets in this position looks to extend this lead very heavily early.
I think that's what we need EUnited to do, right? Is get these kills, get loud, get proud, get that confidence back in them, and trying to assert some dominance over Pioneers. Make them remember who EUnited are, and exactly why we saw Jen hyping them up on the desk, because EUnited have been such a scary team. But right now, it's all the Pioneers, but after this start, maybe EUnited can show why they should be scared of them.
In all honesty, Rain kind of gets out of position here. He loses multiple teammates. The setup gets broken, and for only 21 points to be acquired, Dan, that's a good job by Pioneers to weather the storm, get rid of that setup, because EUnited literally, I thought, was going to run away with this first round of this game. A great job by them to get out of there, but maybe a better route could have been picked by Rain there.
And even though 20 points is a fifth of how much you actually need, you can certainly pick up a lot more here on Street Sport with the perfect setup. If you're in station or if you're a back tower, all you need is 2 sets of slays, and suddenly you've got 50, 60 seconds on board. So I think you're right, 20 seconds maybe not enough for the control they were able to find in those opening stages.
Back when Infinite came out, this Kansas City Pioneers was not seeing the results they wanted. They picked up Manny, and they've been satisfied with his performance ever since. What does Manny have in store for us here? He's got the thrust, he's got the Bulldog shotgun in his back pocket, he's got multiple members of EUnited weak, and now last guy alive, he's got the information that Ryan Noob is getting taken down. That's a killing spree for Manny, and a big one at that. being able to get his team right back in this game 3, keep them in this game 3, I would say. And I wouldn't be shocked to see the Pioneers start to get a lead here if Manny can successfully flank this pillar position.
Yeah, they need to eliminate Manny out of the equation here. He is constantly flanking. He is constantly a pain in EUnited's backside right now. But there is going to be rockets, all the meanwhile, going in favor of Talik. So for all the distraction that Manny was able to achieve, it allowed Pioneers to gain map control and gain these rockets. And unfortunately, Talik, again, in that panic situation. This is exactly what we saw on the previous map.
A lot of buttons been pushed.
He had the repulsor, and he kind of repulsed, and he didn't get the sword.
He must have one of those new age tech controllers where one button does all sorts of different animations.
He's got like 8 paddles on the back, but, you know, you just got to focus on the basics sometimes.
All right, here we go. Let's slow it down. King Nick's in a great position to try and get some ball time if he can get rid of Manny back tower. Manny doing a good job of buying time, though. Let's see how long it takes EUnited to sniff him out and take him down. And it looks like Talik has made himself known up in that heaven situation. Great shots onto Nick. Take him down. Ryan Noob does get the trade, though, in a 2-on-2 situation. But however, in the meantime, Pioneers have somehow snuck away with the ball into Tram.
And Talik's behind them as well. And Talik, who's got 9 kills right now, will definitely take this fight. But Ryan Noob shuts him down, which was a very much needed kill. And now the EUnited push can begin.
Yes, Talik does have 9, but that would have been a really big one to stop Ryan Noob's ability to influence what's going on over here in Trem. Because Ryan Noob wins that fight, he's able to impact not only the battle there, but that's a phenomenal nade once again from Pioneers. Their grenades so far throughout the series have been absolutely amazing. And with that, you're seeing the EUnited setup struggle once again to take form, but 3 go down. The rest of EUnited get kills, and I love this by Spartan being selfless. Even though he has this Stalker, he's getting as much time as he can, knowing that his team is in a must-win game.
This game becomes very scrappy when the ball goes over towards station side as well. Off-spawn players, especially in this situation where there's a lot of players on both teams spawning one up, one up, one up. It becomes a bit of a rush, a bit of a frenzy here in station, and Spartan looking to stop that, looking to try and reassure the team to have some more control, and maybe Rockets can do that here.
Absolutely. Bulldog and Rockets in his control. He's going to use both Rockets quickly, go back for that Stalker. And Spartan showing you every gun matters, every bullet matters. The killing spree comes through. And as we started this game 3, it was really Spartan the Dog I had my eyes on, and for good reason, because Spartan the Dog is starting to bark.
Starting to bring some talent from that right cheek now, not just the left cheek being used.
Both cheeks are needed for this series.
It would seem both cheeks in, and 34-25 in favor of EUnited, finding the Bulldog shotgun. It's surely not. Oh, that could have happened, and if it did, I probably would have lost my mind. But we are running out of time in this round 1. 1 minute 28 on the clock. Of course, it stops every time the ball is picked up. But EUnited, they're pressuring well. They seem more confident here on streets. And Pioneers, they can't allow EUnited to gain too much momentum.
Yeah, but Pioneers have done such a good job of stopping EUnited from getting a substantial lead. They are still within striking distance. But as I say that, 2 straight kills for EUnited. Ryan Noob doing a phenomenal job of picking the Oddball up, extending his lead. But a great grenade once again from Soul Snipe, and it really is Kansas City Pioneers' grenades that have kept them in these games, have secured them such clutch kills that have denied EUnited's opportunities.
The scary factor when you've only got a minute left is just one setup could be the difference from being able to win this round or not.
I mean, he's the last guy alive, and he's milking ball time. Soul Snipe so aware that even though 3 teammates are dead, no one on EUnited able to get in that position. And now, only 10 seconds separate these 2 teams.
Talik's got to be careful. You don't want to push in and die here and allow the rest of the team to suddenly be behind on players. You need to wait for Manny to be up before you all decide to make this push. So I like that Talik backed off ever so slightly. But you're right, maybe the communication wasn't there for the ball to be played, and this next Rockets could be so important for how this game ends.
Yeah, but Rain picking up a big kill, and 3 go down for Pioneers, make it all 4, and his Rockets are coming up as well with only 30 seconds remaining. You have to think EUnited, they've dropped the ball. They have chosen that if they get one more round of slays, they will win this round and take the lead for the first time in this series in at least one of our games.
Prioritizing Rockets over ball. I mean, I can understand it. I can get behind it. Only 14 seconds left. Pioneers have to scrap. They have to scrape and try and get behind this EUnited roster.
Oh no, it looks like they've gotten at least into Tram, but a couple of kills do go in the favor of EUnited. But this could be a real interesting situation if Spartan tries to deny. You see Druck going for the ball, and fortunately Spartan, the last guy alive for EUnited, able to do just enough to deny that ball from being picked up. If you see Kansas City Pioneers get to that ball, that could have been a very, very bad decision from EUnited that they look back on and kick themselves. But fortunately, they do win round 1. Oh my God.
Some will say This map can all come down to where you spawn. Is it the high side? Is it the low side? Well, EUnited won after spawning the high side. Now it's Pioneer's turn to have that advantage from the beginning, or what some players would suggest is an advantage anyway. And they are going to pick up some ball time. Remember, it's about 20 seconds that EUnited were able to get from the start of the game last time, but Pioneers only able to achieve the 7.
All right, round 2. 7 points already for Pioneers. I'd love to go into a listen-in, an Astro Gaming listen-in here with the Kansas City Pioneers and hear their communication, see why things are going so well for them throughout this series.
Yeah, you guys will be serious, okay?
Sonny's coming up. One's benches weak.
What do you guys will be serious?
One's like B stairs or mid, yeah. And one's tires,
Cones. I'm shooting him.
Yeah, he's weak.
Yo, where the fuck is Tyler? Where is Tyler?
One shot cones on me.
He's mid on me. Push me.
One shot plants.
Yeah, one C, I can't do shit.
He's mid. He's sitting mid. He's going benches now.
Guys, go B, guys, go B.
I'm looking
Oh, no, there's one guy purple.
Yeah, Tyler's there, weak.
I'll see him.
Yo,
Tyler,
I'm ready to drive it.
Mike, I'm coming.
He's behind me.
Guys, I need help, guys.
He was hiding.
I don't see him.
He's red room with Stalker.
In.
Yeah, he's my dude.
I'd be
Nice,
B
good
stairs.
job.
B stairs. B stairs with beam. There's 2 B, I think, and one's on ball.
I'm gonna kill this kid to me.
I can cafe.
Fucking arcade.
What's that with that shot, man?
Pretty calm communication from Pioneers, not necessarily in panic stations just yet. I mean, they're 2-0 up in the series. Why would they? But you kind of want some urgency behind this squad. You don't want to give a game back to EUnited. You don't want to allow them a chance to get back into series, and maybe the kills there from Manny and Talek might be enough for them to push in and grab this ball.
Already up almost 40 points, though. EUnited looking to take this game 3, stay in this series a little bit longer than Pioneers fans want. And as you see EUnited start to heat up, start to build some confidence back in this series, King Nick with 7 kills already here in round 2, doing a great job of following up on Spartan's great performance in round 1. That's what it's all about for EUnited, is building off of each other's successes. And I love seeing that King Nick has already started this round 2 in the way that EUnited fans want it.
There certainly are some players on both teams who are prioritizing sticking with their teammates, and others who are very much playing the flanking role. Manny, for example, is consistently looking for that flank, and if he gets caught out, suddenly Pioneers are down by a player as Druck. Can he survive? No, he can't. He meets a rocket.
Good damage, though, from Druck. He does get taken down, but I believe that was going to be 3 dead for EUnited. It does look like Spartan, the last guy alive, Soul Snipe, the last guy alive on his team as well, so a one-on-one here could bode well, and of course they traded out. Well-matched Soul Snipe versus Sparty the dog, but in the meanwhile, EUnited spawned up, got the ball into Tram, but this flank from Druck, like you're saying, works out once again for the Pioneers.
It works out on this occasion, but on another day, that could have been so detrimental if it had gone wrong. But the Pioneers, they don't care. They're playing with confidence. Every single individual wants to take fights. And look, Druck's going to fly straight in again to more players, but he needs to call this out, which he does. Here comes the support. Toilet's going to be there. You just want to be careful with where you're going to be spawning your position here. You don't want to allow them to suddenly be spawning over towards Arcade, and then they can push that ball easily.
You can see the strategy that Pioneers was trying to implement. They wanted to press like Cloud9 presses teams, and I love that out of them. They do play that Halo 5-esque role where they want to suffocate their team coming off respawn, but unfortunately it looks like a bit of an overextension as EUnited now have numbers in their favor. The ball does get played down to bottom middle, but EUnited with a few kills of their own should be able to secure this ball, get it back into safety. 20 points now separating these two teams here in round 2, and Ryan New picking up a kill of his own before he gets taken down with the Bulldog shotgun.
And that's what both teams are doing. They are pressing their advantages. They're not just sitting and watching angles, and I think that's important here on Streets. I think the early stages of Halo Infinite, people would try and hold setup, watch angles, hold crosses, but now they know where the spawns are going to be. You can prioritize certain areas to force spawns. These rockets could really make a difference right now, though. Looks like Pioneers did get hold of them.
Can he stay alive, though, Manny, with a little bit of a peek, trying to get some information. An overextension is what I'll call that, as he gets taken down. King Nick says, let me get that one rocket. 2 dead for Pioneers. That setup is removed immediately. And you thought that that was going to be a big opportunity for Pioneers as they secured rockets, but because EUnited didn't let Manny get a shield back, they now have control of their own.
Pioneers not able to get that ball out to a position where it was awkward enough for EUnited. They swooped in, picked it up, and took it right back into station once more. And unfortunately, you're running into a Bulldog. King Nick making sure he gets the kill, and we need Pioneers right now to make a push all together. Even though they've stopped the ball time from happening, you're just walking into grenades right now.
A beautiful grenade from EUnited right there. It was Rain that got the stick, And with that, 2 dead once again. So every single time it feels like Pioneers have an opportunity to maybe get a setup, maybe come back in this game, get a lead of their own in one of these rounds. EUnited do such a good job of instantly getting 1 or 2 kills in a row in order to shut that thought down immediately.
Remember, neither team got to 100 points in round 1. EUnited opted to just play for slays when there was a 30-40 second limit left. Pioneers, however, they don't want to allow that to happen once more. Instead, they just need that one setup. This ball has always been in station throughout both of the rounds. We've not really seen either team able to get that ideal tower setup.
Look at Spartan trying to use that Pulse Carbine to effect. Does get a player weak, but can't quite do enough damage to secure himself a kill. But 88 points and counting. Soul Snipe has to act fast. He's got to cut off the rotation of this ball carrier. EUnited actually play the ball. They're perfectly fine with getting around the slays. Up 34 points in this game, in this round 2.
Really good movement as well on the other side from Rain just to get a little bit of ball time and delay everything as Ryan gets a huge kill to stay alive here in station because now he can overlook not just the ball, but the rockets that are coming up as well.
Yeah, rockets are the priority for both teams right now. As you see, Druck loses his life, King Nick as well is down, so it's a 3-on-3 for rockets right now. Soul Snipe trying to make a long route over towards the arcade. He gets taken down to no shield. Druck does pick up rockets, but Ryan doing so much damage with that Stalker rifle. That damage denies rockets from going in the hands of the Pioneers for a moment, but Ryan Noob now in a one-on-one against Talik, I believe, actually just outplays everyone, goes for the ball, gets into a spot where he can't be traded out. And that's EUnited taking game 3 of this series, 2-0, and hold the phone on any Kansas City Pioneers fans celebrating just yet, because all EUnited need is a spark of confidence to get this ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, the Aquarius CTF game could have gone either way earlier, and if it had have gone in favor of EUnited, suddenly this is a very different series, but the momentum was behind Pioneers. But now here in game 3, a little bit more strategy to work with on Streets Oddball. We saw a much more comfortable team from EUnited being able to stay alive, do the objective work, and also push the advantages that were presented to them. Even though Pioneers tried to do something similar, there were just these key moments where 1 or 2 kills would go in favor of EUnited, and certainly rockets were most likely in the hands of EUnited as well. And there was a time period where Spartan was really just controlling the map. I mean, it was all about individual plays at times, but also the teamwork of EUnited really stepping up in game 3.
Yeah, I think Spartan and King Nick really stepping it up there in game 3 and to keep their team in this series. Now, Dan, we've already casted 1 game 5 today. We've seen 3-0s from every other series. Are we going to be that duo casting crew this weekend that's the only game 5s? I can only hope so, to put a punctuation on the end of Friday night here in Anaheim.
I mean, I'm happy to be that duo. If I get to cast game 5s all weekend long, sign me up, add it to my contract, and I will do it happily. Live Fire Strongholds is going to be our game number 4. But before we get there, I mean, just looking back at some of the highlights between these two teams, there's going to be a lot of Bulldog and Rocket action. And there were times where even sometimes you would pick up the rockets, you would get 2 kills, you would run back to pick up the other weapon you've just dropped, whether that be a rifle, whether that be the Bulldog. All these players were prioritizing those power weapons so efficiently.
Yeah, it's like they learned their lesson from the first few games, right? Heatwave being so influential in game 1. Game 2, it was all about the shock rifle, all about the sword and its impact on the game. So what do EUnited do? They say, hey, we got to do a better job of controlling these things. And just like that, something clicked for Spartan, because not only did we see him with Stalker, Bulldog, but we saw him go for the rockets with that combo, drop the Stalker, pick up the rockets, put them to use real quick, and then pick the Stalker right back up and go right back to work with those weapons. A phenomenal job of the entire sandbox being used by EUnited that game, and that's why they gave themselves so many advantages that got them that game 3 win.
Game number 4, Strongholds Live Fire, and if Oddball Streets is anything to go by and how aggressive EUnited were with trying to push their advantages and try and control their spawns, you'd imagine that Strongholds could really play to that playstyle. If they're really quick with their rotations and always looking to try and trap Pioneers off spawn, maybe we could be looking at that game 5. So I'm excited for this one. I think Pioneers will certainly be trying to close this one out in 4, obviously, but I saw similar things in Recharge Slayer, which suggests that actually Live Fire Strongholds could be a comfortable one for the Pioneers as well.
I'm not sure who to favor here, Dan. I mean, I watched EUnited play 1 game type warming up yesterday in scrims. It was Live Fire Strongholds. Spartan the Dog picked up a snipe, went on a killing frenzy, and I was like, if he can play like that, they can beat anybody. So what is the goal for the Pioneers right now? Keep the snipe out of his hands. He can be the most dominant player in the game when he has it at times. And already we're into the action here in game 4. Trades across the board, 3 dead on each side, and it's up to Talik and Nick to decide how the start of this game is going to go.
Heatwave, sniper rifle, power up, these are all the focuses, and there's so much to think about here on live fire Strongholds. Not only have you got to focus on those power ups and power weapons, but it's also rotating as a team, focusing on spawns, trying to get hold of even just the mangler can make a difference as there is a battle towards that power up. I think Ryan might have been able to grab it.
It does look like EUnited is going to come out victorious, at least for the battle for the power-up. But in the meanwhile, A and B still controlled by Pioneers. They get out to a 16-point lead. But Spartan has the snipe in hand, does get repulsed back. That's actually a good thing because he was in a very difficult situation, tries to get back into B, loses his life. And just like that, Spartan down with snipe, 3 dead for EUnited. Last guy alive, Rain, fighting for his life, but there's a mosh pit in B, and Pioneers are here to play.
So Pioneers now can force those spawns over towards C. They should pressure it. They should get aggressive. There's only going to be a couple of players there. And then you take C away from them, force them to spawn A, and you continue to pressure. It's just a body shot, but it's enough.
You do not put snipe in your name if you cannot snipe.
That's true.
So Soul Snipe, I'm looking at you right now. What can you do to button this series up for your Kansas City Pioneers? Let's see what you got.
Just like you do not put clutch in your name if you cannot clutch. And that's why you are here today. That's why you're a regional champion yourself.
I thought you were going to mention playing the ball real quick, but I appreciate that.
I was hyping you up.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's see what Soul Snipe has in his book. Now that it's his time with the spotlight on him, he's able to pick up a kill over B. That secures B still in his team's favor. They do lose C, however, so Soul Snipe is going to be forced to try and locate back towards C. A predictable route gets punished, and King Nick now, with the snipe out of Soul Snipe's hands, looks to push B as well.
Maybe a tad of over-aggression there from Soul Snipe. Could have maybe played a little bit more defensive over towards B, but they are still scoring 68-2 now in favor of the Pioneers. And the camouflage going into Druck's chest as well. 2 players are down from EUnited, and I'm loving the rotation that I'm seeing from Pioneers right now. They are keeping EUnited on their toes. Every time EUnited try and get back into this one, try and scrape themselves back in, there is a member of Pioneers to make their life a living hell.
Okay, Dance the Streets, it didn't have a power-up on it. We saw EUnited win. Power-ups were dominated by Pioneers in games 1 and 2. They didn't get the first one, but however, the second one could be very influential for themselves to build up a lead here. 88 points and counting. Invisible players are difficult to kill, and Druck picking up another one before he gets taken down continues to help his team push their advantages.
And a gap like this is only going to go one way. Both of these teams are going to be looking down at 94-2, and EUnited are going to be worrying. Pioneers are just going to be getting more and more confident every single second that ticks up. Finally, EUnited are scoring now. Maybe they can hold a couple of these strongholds for some time, start to put some more time on the board so they can at least give themselves the belief that this one is not going to run away from them.
Oh, it's starting to run away though. 94-20. They do lose B, but a kill comes through from Talik. Great shots by him, and a great job to stay alive throughout this entire process. Unfortunately, he's finally taken down, and Mandy, with both power weapons in hands, needs to make a play. Drops the snipe for Soul Snipe, but unfortunately, King Nick going to interrupt the swap. Actually gets both players, and with that, 3 go down for Pioneers. EUnited in the trip cap situation. Let's see how long they can hold this.
Trip cap, and there was 3 dead. This is going to be a big point scoring period here for EUnited. Where are the spawns? That's going to be the question. Pioneers and Talik is going to be the one player to try and do something a little bit. Will catch Ryan Noob off guard, but Rain is there for the assist. C is going to be the focus for Pioneers, but there's only 1 player left remaining, and they know exactly where he is.
He is going to be able to stop the trip cap from happening, but their lead, it's almost immediately erased with that trip cap being held. The Pioneers now on their back feet for the first time in game 4. It looks like 2 fresh dead. EUnited once again looking to push the trip cap and make it a reality.
But notice what EUnited did. They waited, they knew the player was in C, they allowed the spawns to come through for Pioneers, then they got the kills, then they pushed.
How does Spartan live for so long? Rain also was no shield, was able to play his life, and with Camo Heatwave now in hand, it could be a good thing that Spartan died because this is a lethal combination, and Rain putting it to work, secures B for his team as well.
Almost 100 points unanswered from EUnited. Pioneers were in control, they were cruising, they were flying, but this is why we didn't count EUnited out even when they were 2-0 down in this series, because we know what they're capable of.
How is Ryan Noob staying alive in the Stronghold? Nades exploding everywhere, but he's able to get his shield back. He's bought enough time, and the repulsor comes through. That makes 2 dead for each side with Ryan Noob. Heatwave in hand makes that an easier kill for him, and he is continuing to wreak havoc on this B stronghold throughout this fight.
When you define an annoying player, it is Ryanoop. He has always been that guy who will run around a stronghold, run around a base, be a thorn in your side. He gained so much time for EUnited there just by contesting B, and Pioneers, they were left lifeless trying to find him. They were confused, they were sending themselves off the map, and eventually Spartan will fall as well. But look at this advantage now, almost 50 points in favor of EUnited.
Pure chaos still going on over at B. Both teams sending all resources for the last 45 seconds towards the B stronghold. It does eventually get transferred in the hands of Pioneers, and now with an A-B setup, they look to get back into this game. Down 30 points right now. They have to do a better job of getting control and stopping EUnited, because ever since EUnited had that trip cap, they have had control of the slays, the strongholds, and they have climbed back into this series because of it.
Sniper and Camouflage are both coming up in the next few seconds, so even though Pioneers have control of A and B, that naturally will give a little bit of control on the other side of the map for EUnited, so EUnited might get some goodies in their hands, but it's about what they do with them.
All right, let's see. I believe Pioneers was just able to secure a camo potentially on the other side of the map. B stronghold does get transferred. EUnited overwhelmed that side of the map, decided to give up C, knowing that if they pushed B, they were going to give up C. So they made this conscious decision. Now what are they going to do with it? They secure A as well, so they flipped the map on Pioneers, and now Pioneers had 2 dead, so a phenomenal job to out-rotate the Pioneers right there.
EUnited can really do with a player playing pillars right now, so they get a nice cross so that King Nick's not just kind of left on his own, but I think someone is going to be playing over towards the sandbags, and actually it's going to be Ryanoop. He's going to be taking these fights over towards Power Up. And Pioneers need to try and prioritize almost taking out Ryanoop first and maybe pushing towards A, because if they all flood towards B, they're going to find themselves being shot from several angles, and it's going to get very difficult very quick.
All right, now the play of the game is Spartan the Dog, 19 kills to his name. Ryanoop anchoring this A position with Snipe. Doesn't have anybody of Pioneers really near him, but he understands that the Pioneers have opted to try and push B, so tries to relocate towards the big door, but that's predicted. A good job by Pioneers to understand Ryanoop still has a Snipe. You cannot afford to give him kills. Narrowly misses that shot onto Manny, and because of it, Snipe now out of ammo. Pioneers in control once again, but now down 50 points. Need to hold this substantially in order to come back.
Snipe out of ammo, but a Mangler, arguably more of a power weapon at some times. And Spartan is going to be working in tandem with the rest of the team. He's got 19 kills right now, but it's the assists around him. EUnited, they're on fire with their teamwork. They're communicating well. You can see it in the ability from the kills that Spartan's been able to pick up. A and B back in their control, and Pioneers return to the back foot.
Ryanoop has this Mangler. Are they going to expect it? The answer's no. Drunk gets caught off guard. It's an easy kill for Ryanoop. Unfortunately, it is eventually traded out, and now B Stronghold should be transferred unless Nick has some great grenades. Great grenades do come through and kills as well. So once B Stronghold is transferred, it's immediately hopped in by EUnited with follow-up damage on those grenades, and because of it, 3 dead for Pioneers. EUnited right back in the driver's seat.
One of the downsides of holding that toilet area, you are so vulnerable to grenades, but of course you can't also play on the outside of B, because then you're vulnerable to shots. It's a very difficult and fine line to try and dance between, as Ryanoop has just controlled this area of the map so often. He's rewarded with another camouflage. They're 40 seconds away from tying up this series, and he can be a big influence for that happening.
Yeah, so much information as he sees both those players trying to push low. That's such a difficult position for Pioneers to find themselves in. 3 dead. Talik, the last guy alive, able to repulse Spartan for just a second out of the stronghold, but unfortunately you have to think the reinforcements are coming through. The nades are too great for him to try and deal with, and EUnited continue to hold these strongholds so well. 25 points remaining, and we're going to see a game 5.
Pioneers have like one last push here to try and work with, but they're on a really difficult spawn cycle. Soul Snipe falls. It's 3 versus 3. They have to win this 3 versus 3 here and now. We will get one more kill onto Spartan. This is still possible, but they have to move quick.
They have to move quick, and they have to play perfect if they are able to secure 2 of these strongholds. C is being transferred, but just like that, A and B are also being transferred in the hands of Pioneers, so they are going to have an opportunity to come back in this game, but it will only be 1.
Has to be a perfect hold, but the argument is sometimes you've got to be aggressive to try and get a victory, and Rain is going to have the sniper rifle. 2 are down for Pioneers. This could be the beginning of the end.
This is the beginning of the end, Dan. 2 dead, and Rain in a great position to deny Drug from being able to influence the stronghold. You see, he's got a teammate in Spartan, the man of the day right now, the man of the series for EUnited to stay in this. He is able to get that kill back green. He's going to close the door on this one, but that kill, he's still alive. The kill does finally come through, and that's EUnited getting us to a game 5. And now, will they come out of this, Dan? We will have 50 kills to decide the winner of this game is going to be Street Slayer. And we're hopping on board with Spartan the Dog. He's led his team in games 3 and 4 in slaying to get here, and already starting off with one of his own. Make it 2 with a phenomenal stick to the foot of a Pioneer.
Pressure, nerves, a little bit of excitement as well. Really just flooding through your veins and through your body right now. And even though this is only pool play, this is where champions can be made. This can sometimes be the difference between, of course, starting the tournament really hot and being one of the favorites, or just being bang average in pools and other teams maybe doubting you a little bit.
What teamwork we see out of the Pioneers. Right there, Druk trades melees, Soul Snipe right behind him to pick up that kill. And now Pioneers with a little bit of pressure downhill, pick up a few kills of their own. And I love this by Druk to be able to stay alive for this long. Can't get the melee to connect, unfortunately. And because of it, 3 down for Pioneers. So a situation that looked really good at one point actually gets flipped on their heads. And with that, the lead as well.
EUnited moving as a unit once more. They all collapse back towards PD because they were worried about the cafe spawn, but it's station spawn for Pioneers. And look how quickly EUnited turn to take this fight, but Manny gets the opener, and that's bad news. EUnited, they need to run, or they need to hold their ground as a 3 and hope they can win a 3 versus 4.
Yeah, Rain trying to stop them from being able to push. Unfortunately, he gets hit by a nade, and that allows Pioneers to spread out, create some space. And now all of a sudden it's EUnited that's kind of trapped on this side of the map. This 75-yard line right here is a very difficult part to get out of. EUnited needs to figure out a way to stay alive. I love this reroute by Rain, a great trade from him in that situation, and it's a 2-on-2 trade for Pioneers and EUnited.
EUnited need to just try and hover around Ryan Noob right now and see what he can do, but he's walked right into a Bulldog. Drop Ball coming to try and give him a little bit of assistance. Doesn't win the engagement. That could have been massive, but Manny will prove strong. Now, rockets are going to be coming up. If Manny can get into a position to get up close and personal and stop these rockets from being picked up by EUnited, that would help his team so much. Can they escape with them? I think they can.
Yeah, they should be able to secure these. They get the kills at the perfect time in order to get those rockets secured. Talik able to play his life perfectly, get away with those rockets. And now let's see what Talik chooses to do. Relocates himself to tires. These rockets can be so efficient over here. Expects the push to come through. Unfortunately, the first rocket doesn't come with a kill, and he has to not only take his own life, but finally gets that kill. Rockets are removed from the equation.
That's a shake of the head from Talik. That is probably the 3rd or 4th occasion I've seen him panic in close-range situations and not go for the optimal play. Now, it may not matter. They may still win this series, but he could have gone for a melee, for example. Waste 2 rockets, but they still are 16-12 up, make it 16-14, just like that. EUnited managed to put 2 more back on the board, and now they need to search for those spawns. Get that information. Where are the rest of the Pioneers? It looks like they know it's stationed now. Set up a crossfire or try and push these players down towards driveway.
Last time we were in this situation, Pioneers pushed right up driveway and were able to press themselves and trap EUnited back PD and back tower. Let's see if they're able to apply that same kind of pressure, because this push is not an easy one, but it looks like Pioneers have the same influence and they've created the space they need.
Manny trying to go for a flank over towards Neon. Rain gets slid in on by Soul Snipe, and there is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. But as I say that, bang! Nick gets 2, and Pioneers and Talik finds himself in a 1 versus 4.
Yeah, 3 dead, and now all of a sudden the game being tied up. Talking to slow this one down, not give away any free kills. It's game 5. You don't want to give away any free deaths. Wow. And with that, he plays it perfectly. Not only that, but shoots it perfectly. 4 shots to the dome. Erases Nick from the equation, but right now he loses Soul Snipe on the other side of the map. Chooses to slow the game down once again, and I'd really like to see them press their advantages in this situation, but Ryan did with that wall being such a nuisance.
Certainly neither team has done that in this Slayer game, and I think that speaks volumes of how much pressure is involved in this Slayer. They're playing so passive, both of these teams. Even when 2 or 3 players are down, they're kind of sitting back and just holding the arcade area. We're seeing such a wall go down towards arcade right now. And it's almost like both teams are waiting for the rockets to come up and trying to get these guaranteed kills.
That's the pick you need. Ryan Noob gets down, but nice shots from Nick to take down Talik there as rockets come up. A phenomenal kill that will trade kills out. But as that's happening, Soul Snipe has secured these rockets. He's got good damage on the Rain here in PD. Doesn't want to blow himself up. Can Rain get a kill? Yes, he can. And these trades keeping EUnited in this game are so vital to them staying here, because just 3 kills separate these teams. But without a few of these trades, this game would be blown wide open.
I want to see the pace up by Pioneers. They've got a little bit of advantage, and this is better. Druk pushing into station, trying to collapse on the EUnited spawners. Might be able to find one on Nick. Neither team has been doing that. They've not been collapsing. They've been treating it as a very standoffy game, and that's maybe allowed EUnited to stay in it longer than expected.
Here comes EUnited. They're going to look to push Druk. Unfortunately, Nick had no idea. I guess he was there. Ryan Noob not. maybe giving that information as clear as it could have been, but the kills do get into the advantage of EUnited, but just like that, they're traded right back. Pioneers here to trade out on that damage, and who better than Soul Snipe? We saw him have such a strong performance in Game 2. The Slayer earlier in this series, back at it again with 10 of his own here in Game 5.
Well, we've seen Pioneers have the lead in this series 2-0. We saw them leading in the previous Strongholds game by 90 points. Now they're leading once more with 4 kills. What's the clutch factor of this squad? Can they actually continue to press EUnited to a point where they can get maybe a 10-kill advantage, which would be such a comfort range for them right now? You don't want to be always within this kind of 3 to 4 area where you know all it takes is all 4 dead from EUnited and they're right back into it.
Look at this, Rockets coming up in 15 seconds. Pioneers with a ton of map control right now. If they're able to get a few kills, they can turn this game wide open with this set of Rockets, but they have to be able to find the picks they need. They are not going to be able to get these Rockets for free. And look at Soul Snipe, can't spot anyone for EUnited poking their head out. He sees his teammate taking a ton of damage over there, so he opts to try and push. Rain with the flank from Brew Grenades finds 1, maybe 2 damage onto a third, and that should secure EUnited Rockets.
Yeah, Ryanoob, I think, was able to pick them up. Spartan's also getting aggressive onto Manny. It wasn't even Ryanoob. Yeah, it was. He's got them in the back pockets now. He can maybe do some real damage. Still got 1 to work with. This should be, and could be, and will be a guaranteed kill. 32-27. EUnited still staying within that touching distance.
What a play by Rain to open up the map for his team, but it doesn't change the scoreline as of yet. 5 kills still separating this team. Struck phenomenally plays that one-on-one. Unfortunately, the nade doesn't come through for Ryan. Talik gets a nade kill of his own, and now the store starting to get out of control here. 9 kills separate these two as Pioneers from the mid-game have blown this one wide open.
This is the comfort range I was talking about. A 9-kill advantage towards 10. They're collapsing now because they've got a little bit of leeway to work with. They can afford to be aggressive and give away some kills as long as they get the trades, but they didn't get the trades in that scenario. That's 3 kills going unanswered. Pioneers give that one away, finally get 1, but suddenly from a 9-kill game, it's a 6-kill game. Spartan needs to stay alive.
Yeah, can Spartan stay alive? This is such an important life for him. They have Stalker in the hands of Ryan. He's able to pick up a kill on the Talik off screen. Spartan with this Bulldog has the opportunity to get a couple kills over here towards Arcade, but 3 players from Pioneers are too much to handle, and Spartan's taken down as well.
Manny has been flanking consistently. Rain has been doing the same thing on the other side. And look, they want to push again. Still, EUnited trapped within station here. Got to be careful getting shot in the backside is Manny, 38-33. EUnited holding the fort strong right now. Barricades are up. They've got the fences out. They're doing what they can to keep the Pioneers out.
Ryan Noob does so much damage with the Stalker rifle in that position to keep his team in this game. 4 kills continue to separate these two, make it a 5th. As he loses 2 teammates of his own. Rockets come up, and that's perfect timing for Pioneers to get those few kills. They get Rockets, they get out of dodge, and Talik, once again with Rockets in hand, has an opportunity to put a punctuation on the first night here in Anaheim.
So much responsibility for Talik right now, but EUnited are playing it slow, they're playing it safe. First rocket is good, second could be as well. That's 2 guaranteed kills from Talik. Job done, 5-kill advantage, 8 kills to go. EUnited, can they get back into this? They just need to get all 4 dead, but as I say that, 2-4 for EUnited, 44-37. Maybe this is out of reach. Maybe Pioneers have done enough to now just go for trades.
I mean, we haven't seen EUnited trade efficiently throughout this game as of yet. Right now, Pioneers are doing such a good job of capitalizing on each other's damage, making sure no player gets left alive if he's weak. And Drunk with the bark of the Bulldog puts another one down.
They have to slow down these deaths ASAP, but that's going to be potentially 48-41. EUnited need to group up, they need to work as a team, move as a unit, and they cannot afford even 1 trade here. Otherwise, this game is going to Pioneers. It's Game 5 as well. It would be Series Pioneers, and it would be Pioneers topping the group here in Anaheim.
Look at this. You see Talik spots 1, spots actually 3 players over towards the shotgun. That's all the information the Pioneers need. He's going to push into PD. He knows that there's nobody here now that he's cleared it out. He's got all the information the Pioneers need to close this one out. They do lose Druk, however. They decide to slow it down once again. And multiple members flying in, and it's a beatdown party. Talik's invited. EUnited find another one, and now 5 kills separate these two. And all of a sudden, Pioneers starting to slow it down even more. Know that this is their game to lose.
Well, you talk about experience, you talk about playing in the past and having those land possibilities, that clutch factor. Well, EUnited, can they take advantage of maybe a little bit of nervousness here from Pioneers? Pioneers. Can EUnited stall this out enough where rockets come up, they grab those rockets, and maybe are able to get some guaranteed kills?
That's the tough part here. EUnited have to compete for rockets, but they can't afford to die. They cannot afford to give any lives, but if they don't compete for these rockets, this game is as good as gone. Anyways, Talik finds one. The rockets get into the hands of Solsnipe.
No!
He blows himself up, but I don't think that's going to matter because Manny with the Bulldog finds the 50th. It's KCP taking Pool D, and in dominant form, they take Game 5.